And welcome back to IEMG, the Spring League Champion Show. We had a local softball champion from the Ambassador League, the Aquinas Falcons, hanging up another league championship banner, and it was a great season for the Falcons. Despite a coaching change halfway through the year, the Falcons went undefeated through the regular season and even picked up a big playoff win against Cajon in Division III. Here is head coach Lenny Duran from this past season and his favorite assistant, Lexi Duran from Aquinas. And now join us here on our very special IEMG League Champion Show. The king, or the queens, I should say, of the Ambassador League, the Aquinas softball team on top of the league standings once again. And not only was it a league championship season, they were undefeated throughout the regular season. We have head coach Lenny Duran and his favorite assistant coach, I think that's fair to say at least, Lexi Duran as well, a former Aquinas Falcon. And coach, let me start with you. I mean, you guys won the league championship this year, but you also went undefeated the entire regular season. How much did you enjoy this run to get to the playoffs and win the league title?
It was fantastic. The girls played hard. We worked them, and we got into a groove right away, and the ball kept rolling, and it was fun to watch. We had a few close games that I thought could have went differently, and we kind of rolled through it, and then we just kept rolling, and so when it came out to playoffs, end of the season, we were undefeated, and I didn't really look at it that way. I think we just kept going, and so it was fun. It was fun to watch.
Local softball fans know this, and we've talked about this before. Obviously, there was a coaching switch during the season. Yeah. You stepped in. What do you think was key to just keeping the team together so you guys could, continue that win streak, just to continue to be successful throughout the season?
I think for us, for Lexi and I think for letting the girls know that we were there for them and understanding what they needed from us. And what we really needed from them. We changed the culture of that stuff, and we got to a point where they needed to have a voice and be a person and be a kid, and to be seen and not treat them. They're athletes, but they're people first. So, and I think that was important. And as Lexi and I sat down, Lexi was like, let's run it like a college program. And she implemented, practices and mental health, and, we kind of surrounded ourselves. It was just about them. And I think I think they enjoyed that. Don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Lexi, so what do you think? What do you think that, your dad, the coach, was talking about some of the things that you implemented, into the program. What do you think was really key? What really paid off for you guys in the end?
Honestly, I really think that it was letting them know, like, we mean business. And I know it sounds silly, but really getting them into the dog mentality, which is our motto as Aquinas now. It really did help going through, like, walking them through mental training. It was just like getting down to the nitty gritty. And I think that really helped them figure out, like, their why. So as soon as we had them figure out their why, it was just a lot more purpose out there on the field.
Obviously winning the league championship was incredible, but you guys were able to go through the regular season unbeaten. And Lexi, what kind of confidence did the team have at the conclusion of the regular season going into the playoffs? Did the team feel like they were on cloud nine? I mean, because I can't think of any local softball teams that went undefeated.
Yeah, I mean, I could say that. I think they were proud of themselves, which is one of the biggest things. Going through a coaching change, like we said before, going through a coaching change was really rough for them. We just had to be there for them and realize, we're here for you. As long as you believe in us, we believe in you. Really just having their backs and them knowing it really put them on cloud nine, as you said, to go into the, yeah.
Lenny, let me go back to you on this one because, Aquinas softball obviously has had some great teams They've got tons of titles to show for it. You know,
Right.
when you stepped in, of course there's some built-in pressure because it's Aquinas.
Sure.
You guys are expected to win, but it sounds like you guys really, enjoyed yourselves, right? When you stepped in from assistant to head coach and Lexi started doing her things as well. It sounds like you guys really enjoyed the season. Of course you play to win the game, as it's famously
Right.
said, but it sounds like you guys really enjoyed the year.
We did, and I think one of the biggest things is that, and it was tough to implement that everyone had a role on the team. We had pitchers on the team that were a senior that only pitched maybe 10, 12 innings their whole career and ended up pitching 40 some innings with 6 wins for us. And so I think when we started to do that, everyone felt like this is my team as well. And so when we did that, I think everyone knew that, hey, I may have a chance to get in to win the game or do something special for us. And so I think that was huge for us. I mean, we had in the second playoff game, our pitcher, Maya, she got in a little trouble. And then we had our lefty come in, which she's a sophomore. And throughout the whole year, we've been putting these girls in these situations, and she did great. She pitched 5 great innings for us, and I think she ran out of gas a little bit. But those are the things that I think that helped us along the way. That everyone was going to do a part, and it didn't matter when. And again, across the board, we had our 4 pitchers, and I think every one of them had at least 5 to 6 wins.
Yeah.
And so, and players off the bench, 12, 15, 20 at bats, and with multiple hits. So it was good. It was good to see that. And I think that, again, that helped us along the line with being where we were at, going into playoffs. So,
Lexi, what year did you graduate from Aquinas?
2021.
So, I mean, you're really not that far removed from high school.
No.
Did your dad maybe lean on you a little bit to, obviously you can relate to the girls maybe a little bit in a different way, right? In terms of getting them motivated or what might be in their headspace?
Yeah. Like I said, I'm really freshly out of the game. I actually have played with, now 3 years of generations that I've coached. So I did have some special connections with the girls on the team. So we did have to kind of, establish that coach player thing. Definitely. But it was great. They do see me. I am the only woman coach. So yeah, there's a different type of connection that we have. They definitely feel like they can talk to me on a more personal level, and that's really what the girls need now, especially when they're in trouble or when they're struggling with something that they just feel like nobody else can understand. It's really great to be the person that they go to, for sure.
All right, guys, let's wrap it up like this. This is for Lexi and Lenny. Obviously, the league championship, the undefeated regular season, but maybe the biggest win of the year came in the first round of the playoffs. We are all fired up for this, battle with Cajon. They've got a great pitcher in Jada Villegas, and not only was it a great game, but it literally came down to the last swing of the bat. Coach, both of you guys, Lenny and Lexi, what do you remember about that game? And it was so dramatic and an in-town rivalry. It was great.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're looking for the W, right? But it was electric, and as a coach, you coach the girls all year long, and then you catch yourself in an inning where you're watching the game, right? You're not coaching the game; you're just watching the game now, and you're watching these girls be successful. And our pitcher and Jaden, our pitcher Maya, they were both lights out. They were having great games, and so it was a pitcher's duel. And it just so happens that Sav came up, and in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, it's okay, we're good,
Yeah.
And I think maybe she hit a mistake, and it was electric, man. I was on fire. I mean, I
Yeah.
couldn't have been more happy. I think I was jumping more than the players were. So,
Yeah, you can see us on the chalk line, jumping up and down, screaming. It was definitely a feeling that nobody has ever felt before.
right.
But it was great watching them
Yeah.
like feel that they're a team, because a lot of them haven't felt that in the previous years. It hasn't felt as tight as they were. So they were definitely there to play for each other, and that was their goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was definitely
And
electric.
also it's a crosstown rival, right? I
Yeah.
mean, and that was huge. There was a lot of people there, so it was, it got a little tight, and so but it was great. I'm glad that we came out on top, but it was good. It was
Yeah,
good.
it was
I
great.
I still think about it, and I still feel myself jumping and being happy for the girls, and yeah, it was a great time, and I'm glad for them.
Congratulations to Aquinas. That's going to do it for this edition of the Spring League Champion Show on IEMG. Make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to the Inland Empire Media Group YouTube channel. My name is Pep Fernandez. We'll see you next time on IEMG.